We had the first Monday Night Raw of the year, and it turns out I was wrong about everything, including it being a great show. Now let's get into it. Look, you're already here. Hit that subscribe button. Look, I'm not saying it was a bad show tonight. It was fine. It was a fine episode of Monday Night Raw. But considering all the hype behind tonight, some high expectations that WWE kind of put out there, including Adam Pearce tweeting out something about break the walls down, so we all expected Jericho to come back tonight, which in hindsight, of course he wasn't going to come back tonight, right? It was just a random night of Raw. But I expected more, and maybe that's on me. Listen, I have to just stop giving WWE the benefit of the doubt. Fool me once, shame on you, and can't fool me twice, or whatever he said. But tonight's episode was fine. It was fine. It just wasn't this great episode that I think a lot of us expected out of it. The show did open up with a match, with a title match between the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea Sky. It was really refreshing to open up with a match after weeks and weeks and weeks of Vision promos and babyface promos about the Vision. And yeah, opening with a match was really refreshing. The match was great, as we all expected. It was very one-sided, though. It did feel like Rhea Ripley and Io Sky just had the advantage for 90% of the match. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky won, if that's not obvious. But I don't know. Again, like I had originally said that this match would end in a no contest because I felt like WWE was setting up the women's tag team division for more, right? I expected a multi-person tag team match to take place either at the Rumble or at some point during this European tour. And I'm not saying that that's not going to happen, but now that Rio has dethroned the Kabuki Warriors, does that mean the Kabuki Warriors take a part of this? Like, does every other tag team now still have some sort of justification for challenging for these titles? It just felt like they could have gone a whole different direction if they want that match to happen. Instead, they had Rhea Ripley and Io Sky win it, which honestly makes me feel like they're not going to go in that direction. It makes me feel like this whole story with all of these women's tag teams going after the title and eventually it just becoming one giant match with all of them involved. I feel like WWE has decided against that, and that really bums me out. And I hope that that's not the case, but that's just what tonight really made me feel like. I did like that Kairi Sane finally wasn't the one who took the pin. Asuka took the pin tonight after this combination move that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have been doing with the Riptide into an over the moonsault, and then Rhea Ripley, then Io Sky suicide dived outside of the ring to take out Kairi Sane. Rhea Ripley pinned Asuka 1, 2, 3, and like I said, we have new women's tag team champions. I don't know where WWE goes from here. Does this mean that Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss now challenge them because they were in the same team as them two in that 8-man tag team match on Friday? Or does that mean that now Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez go after Rio because of what Adam Pearce said yesterday? We also had that match tonight, by the way. We had Liv Morgan versus Lyra Valkarya after Lyra and Bayley went to go ask about a tag team title shot. Adam Pearce was like, well, Liv and Roxanne kind of already called next, so they're up next. So we had that match tonight. Very interesting match. I hadn't realized that Liv hadn't had a match since she returned. So tonight was her first match back, her first match since being injured. Very fun match. Of course, there were shenanigans with Roxanne Perez kind of getting involved and distracting Lyra Valkyria, and then Bayley getting involved, Lyra taking out Bayley. Then Bayley pops up as her heelish Bayley with a chair and chases down Roxanne Perez until she chases her to the back. And then Lyra is distracted by all this. She gets in the ring, and then Liv Morgan hits her with her finisher, whose name I can't remember because I can't remember. And yeah, Liv Morgan pins Lyra Valkyria 1, 2, 3 in her first match back since being injured. Very entertaining match, very fun match. Again, I expected this match to end in a no contest because I kind of expected both of these matches to be intertwined and for this to just build and build and build into this multi-team tag team match that I had envisioned, that I've wanted, that I've been asking for several weeks now. I'm not saying that that's not the direction that WWE is going, but they really chose the harder path to get there if that is where they're going. Yeah, so I don't know. Does that mean that Lyra, Valkarya, and Bayley are out of the tag team picture? Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez are the next contenders for those titles, being that Liv Morgan beat Lyra. Yeah, does that put them as next in line against Rhea, Ripley, and Io Sky? I don't know. I just feel like WWE could have made this a lot easier by just having the Kabuki Warriors and Rio end in a no contest, and then just ladies, multi-person tag match in Germany next week. That would have been absolutely amazing, but that's not the path where we're going. So we'll see what WWE does now. We'll go through the other matches first, saving the main event for the end, of course, but we had Becky Lynch against Maxxine Dupri tonight. This match absolutely did not go the way that I thought. Like I said, I don't think I got a single match. As a matter of fact, I know I didn't get a single match right in terms of what I expected to happen. It was a great match, and Maxxine Dupri did kind of have the upper hand on Becky Lynch for the entirety of this match. It ended in a very smart way, as while still protecting Maxxine Dupri and making Becky still the smarter, better, more experienced wrestler, which I guess was kind of clever. But yeah, Maxxine Dupri had Becky Lynch in an ankle lock. Becky reversed that into a pin on Maxxine, and then she grabbed onto the ropes, and 1, 2, 3, Becky Lynch is our new WWE Intercontinental Champion. And it seems really interesting considering what's happening in Smackdown as well, with the U.S. Championship, with the Women's U.S. Championship just going back and forth in several weeks between Julia and Chelsea Green, doing the same thing here on Raw. I do think that this whole thing was to set up AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch at Mania, having it be for this IC title, kind of having the stakes be higher, have AJ Lee win that title, and it meaning more because it's for the IC title. But I don't know what this does with Maxxine Dupri. She was just starting to kind of cultivate this new, tougher character. Maybe she goes back to the dungeon now and keeps training with Natalya. And then later, when Becky drops the title to AJ Lee, they have like a face versus face, like friendly match for the title. Maybe Maxxine Dupri wins it back. Again, I don't know. Like WWE just chose really weird paths. And like I said, right, like if you watched my video from yesterday, this is obviously, we're heading into the Rumble, we're heading into the road to WrestleMania, so they have to set up stories how they want them. And I do think that the whole point of all of this Becky Lynch winning the IC title is to set up that AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch match, have it before a championship, have it before the IC championship, and kind of just have it mean more for everyone. So I don't hate it in that sense, but I don't know what this means for Maxxine Dupri, and that bums me out because I feel like she was kind of going somewhere. I feel like this new character was giving us something different that I was enjoying, and I was going with to see where it went. So WWE just doing WWE things, and here I am just doing the same thing over and over again by giving them the benefit of the doubt. So we'll see where it goes, but again, not what I expected at all. 2 title changes in one night, maybe 3. I don't know. We'll talk about the main event in a bit. Before we do get into the main event, though, there's a couple things that happened that deserves to be mentioned about tonight. There was another Gunther promo. Promo is in heavy quotes because he just goes to the ring and gets booed, and people chant "You tapped out," and he laughs, and he talks about how he made him tap like a bitch. And he said it today. He started to say it once. He said, "I made him tap like a," and then he was interrupted by AJ Styles, and that was fun. I really enjoyed that AJ Styles is getting involved with Gunther because, yeah, who doesn't want to see that? That's going to be a great match. If I may, it'll be a phenomenal match. And I don't think there's anyone who's a fan of WWE who doesn't want to see that. And if you say you don't want to see that, then you don't know ball. I'm sorry. You just don't. That match is going to be amazing. And I don't care who wins because it's going to be a very fun match. And you don't know ball. If you don't want to see it, you don't know ball. Sorry. I'm sorry. That being said, yeah, it was fun because AJ Styles came into the ring. He slapped the bejesus out of Gunther. And that set Gunther off. AJ Styles eventually left the ring. Gunther was left there kind of fuming. We cut to break. When we come back, he's going up to Adam Pearce and he's like, "Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened?" Kind of complaining to the principal. AJ Styles comes from the back and he's like, "Really? You're going to go to Adam Pearce on me? You're going to go and complain about me?" And the match is set up for next week. And that match in Berlin on Monday Night Raw next Monday between AJ Styles and Gunther, there is 0% chance that that's a bad match. The crowd is going to absolutely love it because it's going to be a freaking great match and everything about it's going to be amazing. I can't wait for that match to happen. Stay tuned for that match. If you're not, listen. Wow. I can't even speak. This match is going to be absolutely amazing and I can't wait. We also got an Usos promo where they said a whole lot of nothing. They basically came out from the rafters like they do, didn't come all the way to the ring, just kind of stopped halfway, cut a promo talking about, was Jay talking about being down and out, but now he's back with his brother, and now they're the tag team champions, and putting everyone on notice, and anyone who wants to come, basically, you want some, come get some, is basically what he said. So the Usos are back. They are tag team champions, and you want some, come get some. I don't think, especially considering what just happened with AJ Styles, it won't be AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee, as we'll talk about in a bit, is off doing a side quest now, so it won't be Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. It'll probably be the New Day or the Vision. I think the Vision are going to be busy with Rey Mysterio and Penta, especially after what happens today. Again, we'll get into that in a bit. So I think that they're going to feud against the New Day. They'll probably beat the New Day. I know I said that the New Day was going to be the tag team to dethrone them a couple days ago in a video. I don't know if that video actually went up, but I did say that the New Day would be the tag team to dethrone them. But I don't think that's the case anymore. I think they will probably win that first feud against the New Day, and then they will eventually lose their tag titles against the Vision. I don't want this to be a long reign, and I want this to be another reason for Jey Uso to go further and further into this crash out character, into this character who's like, I need to change my ways, and let's change him up. Let's change up Jey Uso. Let's see what happens. But yeah, a whole lot of nothing in this promo from the Usos. They're back, and if you want some, come get some. We also got the biggest bummer of the night tonight, which apparently Stephanie Vaquette is hurt doing, the holiday house shows that WWE loves to do. She hurt her ankle. She walked out to the ring in a boot to cut a promo to basically be like, look, I'm hurt, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm a fighting champion, and I'm going to fight through this. In the middle of all that, she gets attacked by Raquel Rodriguez. Like, Raquel just, like, absolutely destroys her. Like, just tears her apart, man. And, like, all the security come from the back. Adam Pearce comes out from the back, kind of pull them apart. They take Stephanie Vaquette to the back, cuts a commercial break. They come back from commercial break. Stephanie Vaquette is kind of being helped in the back, kind of like they're carrying her, I don't know, to an ambulance, to her car. I don't know, they're carrying her in the back. And Raquel Rodriguez comes back out and just destroys her all over again. So I absolutely love what this did for Raquel Rodriguez. I hate that this probably means that Stephanie Vaquette is going to vacate her title. She had been an amazing champion so far. Not any like significant feuds, but I think they had mentioned that she hadn't lost since joining the main roster, which is absolutely amazing. She definitely had a hell of a year in 2025, and I hope she recovers soon. I do think that they're going to write her off. They're going to vacate this title. Probably, I don't know, maybe have another battle royal to see who takes the title. Maybe have the King of the Ring tournament be for the title rather than a title match, or the elimination chamber be for the title rather than a title match. I don't know, but it bums me out that Stephanie Vaquette will be out for a bit, but I love, like I said, I love what this did for Raquel Rodriguez's character. Maybe this will pivot, or I don't know, maybe speed up the story between Liv and Raquel and give us, a match between them two, and give us, not necessarily the Judgment Day breaking up, but having them two break up as friends and having probably Raquel be kicked out of the Judgment Day and have a babyface run. Hopefully not, because I really love her as a heel. But I do think that something's got to come out of this, making Raquel look like a badass. Like, tonight in itself made her look like a badass. And why not? Let's put the title on Raquel Rodriguez and let's see what happens, right? Let's have her have a match against Liv Morgan. Let's have her have a match against whoever you want. But I want to see that title on Raquel Rodriguez after tonight. And still bummed out about Stephanie, but it is what it is. Now, we do have our main event to talk about. Before we get into that, though, there was a segment backstage where Rey Mysterio is having, he's giving Dragon Lee a pep talk, right? Dragon Lee lost his smile, right? Dragon Lee lost, just like Jey Uso a few weeks back. Dragon Lee lost his smile, and Rey Mysterio is giving him a pep talk, right? Hey, man, you'll figure something now. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be a champion again. You're gonna be a champion someday, and it sucks that AJ is doing his own thing, but that's good for him. He deserves it, and you're gonna do great. You're gonna find something, and Dragon Lee's like, you're right, Ray. You're right, Ray. Yeah, I'm gonna be the best guy on the roster, and blah 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 blah, and I have your back no matter what. And then he leaves the locker room. Then here comes Penta. Penta comes to the locker room as well. Tells Rey Mysterio basically, I have your back too, man. Like whatever you need, I'm here for you. Settle miedo. Great. Now we go into our main event, which absolutely cooked, by the way. Tonight's show was really underwhelming, and something was missing, but this main event delivered, man, in a lot of ways. Again, I think we still expected something bigger. We still expected maybe some returns. Spoiler alert, we didn't get any significant returns, but the match itself was great, and again, I was wrong about another outcome. Anyway, like I mentioned, this was a really good match. It's not going to get as much love as it deserves, and I think that's because everyone was already disappointed by this point, right? We got so many high expectations, so many promises about tonight's show that just didn't deliver. I don't know if it was just certain people that I followed, or if it was actually out there, but I think there was a promise of Roman Reigns being in tonight's show. No Roman Reigns, right? The whole Adam Pearce thing where he kind of teased Chris Jericho on Twitter, whatever it was, no Chris Jericho. I think we expected more out of this, more returns, more surprises that we didn't get. Also, why was it Stranger Things themed? There were like creepy vines on like the barrier between the crowd and the ring, but and I guess there was like the weird like pizza van on the side, and there was like weird graphics on the screen, but other than that, what was the tie-in with Stranger Things? It made no sense. I did not like that whole thing of it, but as an episode of Raw, it was pretty good. And this main event was absolutely amazing. Bron Breakker is an absolute force to be dealt with. I wanted Bron Breakker to win tonight's match. Spoiler alert, he didn't. CM Punk won tonight's match. But everything about Bron Breakker tonight just made me believe in him even more. Made me believe that he is the absolute future of WWE. This guy is going to be a multi-time champion, a 10, 12-time champion for the WWE, as he absolutely should, by the way. But one of the things that I loved about what Bron did tonight the most is he had a pretty bad botch. He had a pretty bad botch at the corner. He went for a Frankensteiner with CM Punk, the whole thing he does where he like climbs on the ropes and then like no hands tries to Frankensteiner somebody off the turnbuckle. He missed CM Punk, and there was a botch. He landed on his head. This dude has landed on his head a lot. Like, good thing he's like Buffy McGee, because that neck protects a whole lot of brain, and it really could have ended sideways. So I'm glad that he's okay. But yeah, he had a botch, landed on his head. CM Punk came down, did a couple moves, and then you know what? They tried it again, and he hit it perfectly. So I love that he went for it again. This shows like this dude's confidence and ability to just go at it and do it again, and it made him believable. It made it a believable thing to be like, if this guy were to mess up like this in a real fight, he'd do it again. Like, that's just the kind of guy he is. So I love that he did that. Man, I don't know. Call me a Bron Breakker mark, but I absolutely believe in this dude. So yeah, it was a good match. It was a long match. It got like 40 minutes. At some point, just like we all expected, right? Paul Heyman gets on the apron. He tries to whistle for the Vision, and here comes the Vision. Here comes Bronson Reed. Here comes Logan Paul. Here comes Austin Theory to all get involved in this match. The referee gets taken out at some point. CM Punk gets stomped. He gets tsunami'd, and while like they're attacking CM Punk, who comes out to get the save? It's Dragon Lee, it's Rey Mysterio, it's Penta, right? They had that conversation earlier about having Rey's back. Rey is feuding with Austin Theory and the Division. So, like I said, 3-on-3. I expected Penta and Rey to team up with Rey Fenix as the third guy, but it seems like it's going to be Dragon Lee. So we're probably going to have a few matches between Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, and Penta versus the other three members of the Division being Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. Some really fun spots in this match. So Bron Breakker actually picks up CM Punk. He does this bad boy. He picks up CM Punk. He tries to give CM Punk a go to sleep. CM Punk reverses that, grabs onto Bron Breakker's ankle, puts him in an STF, right? Like, hey, John Cena, this is for you, man. Puts him in an STF. He's holding on to the hold, or to that hold. Bron makes it to the rope. CM Punk pulls him back to the middle of the ring, hits him with an STF again. At one point, Paul Heyman gets on the apron, and baby faces just can't resist the heel on the apron. So CM Punk lets go of the hold. He is screaming at Paul Heyman. Meanwhile, Bron Breakker goes for the spear. CM Punk moves out of the way and he spears the living hell out of Paul Heyman. Right? Paul Heyman just hits the wall. He's on the floor. He got speared out of the ring by Bron Breakker. So CM Punk goes out there. At one point, CM Punk ends up against the announcer's table. Or no, what happens is CM Punk tries to do a suicide dive on Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed hits him with a punch, and this thing looked nasty, man. Like the way that CM Punk landed, I was like, oh, was this for real? Like, did something actually happen? I was curious if CM Punk was okay. Then CM Punk kind of gets up. He's leaning against the announce table, and Bron Breakker hits him with the gnarliest flying clothesline I've ever seen from the turnbuckle. Just absolutely destroys him. CM Punk's boot just blows up. His foot just comes out of his boot. His boot's dangling to the side, and his foot's just here. Absolutely amazing. CM Punk then he gets put back in the ring by Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker tries to hit him with a spear, but CM Punk reverses as he puts his knee up. Bron Breakker falls to the floor. CM Punk picks up Bron Breakker, hits him with a go to sleep, and 1, 2, 3. CM Punk retains as WWE World Champion. Like I said, this match was absolutely great. This was such a fun match. It was just a lot of shenanigans, kind of what we wanted out of this match. I do think that people were expecting, an OTC interference, maybe a Chris Jericho return, maybe a Seth Rollins return to show himself to be the true leader, to have the secondary faction, maybe with Austin Theory being this double agent. I don't know what people expected. People expected a whole lot. Some new Vision members. I don't know. We didn't get all of that. What we got was a really fun match between these two guys with a lot of shenanigans from the people that were already there. And I honestly don't hate it. Like I said, if it weren't for this night already being such a disappointment, and it's weird because a lot of things happened and it was a lot of fun, but the match, the night still felt like a disappointment. Everyone would be absolutely up here with this match. But instead, the crowd was dead, and we still got a good match, and I was very happy with what they gave us for this main event. So CM Punk is our new, or is still our heavyweight champion. Not the way I wanted the match to end, but the match itself was amazing. So kudos to these two guys. So there you have it. That's what happened tonight on Monday Night Raw. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like I said, it wasn't a bad Raw. It also wasn't the greatest Raw ever. But I think just the expectation that WWE set forth, right, with these teases online, with just the hype that it got, with why is this thing Stranger Things themed, right? Is it going to be oh, are we in the Upside Down because Chris Jericho's back or Seth Rollins is back or whatever, right? I think we just expected more, and maybe that's on us, man. We keep believing in WWE to give us these moments, these groundbreaking moments on Mondays and on Fridays, and they just don't deliver on that, and maybe we just need to temper our expectations a little bit, because while tonight's Raw was really good, we wanted more. That's honestly what it is we wanted more, and WWE didn't give us what we wanted. But that's not on them. That's on us. We need to temper our expectations. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought. Listen, we got 2 new champions tonight. We got Rhea as the new tag team champions. We have Becky Lynch as the Intercontinental Champion again. Like, we had 4 matches tonight. 3 of them were women's wrestling, which is what I've been asking for. I've been asking for WWE to showcase women's wrestling as they head to Saudi, right? As they head to Saudi and they put them in those weird bodysuits. Let's showcase women's wrestling. And that's what they did tonight. So on that end, I thought it was great. Like I said, I just think we expected more. And it's a little bit on them, but it's also a little bit on us. Anyway, like I said, let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what you think is going to happen with Stephanie Valkarya's title. I like the way that they're built, that they pivoted with that story. Like, something happened where Stephanie Valkarya might need to take some time off. So I like that they built the story around it, and I'm here for that part. So, like I said, let me know what you thought about everything about tonight. There is a lot to talk about tonight, including the disappointments of no returns and no reveals. But since you made it this far, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Check out some of my other videos. I post a lot on this channel. I'm sure you'll like something. I'm sure there's a video you'll like somewhere in there. But anyway, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so. If you don't have a wrestling guy, let me be your wrestling guy. And come drop by in the comments and let's talk wrestling every once in a while. What do you say? Anyway, though, as always, until next time, have a nice day.